Welcome to the NFL Draft Geek Film Room. I'm Brian Johannes. On this episode, we're going to take a look at one of the prospects that is just tearing apart college football, and that is Ohio State's Chase Young. If you're not familiar with what we do in these prospect film rooms, I'm going to highlight clips of Chase Young's games from earlier this season just to kind of showcase the type of prospect he is and what his NFL potential could be. So sit back, enjoy. As we get into the tape, the first thing that stands out about Chase Young is he's just a freak of an athlete. As we see on this play right here, he's lined up on the left-hand side. He's going to make a move to his right and just get into this backfield and disrupt. As we see here, kind of a little loop to the inside, just bursts through and gets the sack there. As we see from the end zone camera angle, just look at the lateral agility, the burst, the power. He is just a complete load to try and deal with. We see that again in this play against Florida Atlantic. They're going to block him with the left tackle. They're going to bring the running back over, and he's just able to just kind of manhandle this left tackle, knock him back, bounce off the running back, and get the sack there. Even though his defensive tackle basically got that sack, if he wasn't there, that was going to be Chase Young. And he just, once again, shows that power, that burst, the agility to get in there and just wreak havoc into the backfield. As a pass rusher, Chase Young wins initially with his speed and the ability to bend that edge. We see that here. Down here on the left-hand side, he's going to be able to win speed off the edge and just turn that corner for the sack. This left tackle had no chance. He didn't have the speed to get back deep. Look at this position that he's in. Chase Daniels pretty much already got the edge here, and then he's able just to turn and bend that edge to get the sack there. It's hard to compete when you got a guy that's that big, that fast, and then he has that agility just to bend around the edge. You're not going to win a lot of times with him, and especially if you don't get the depth here. He's bent at his waist. He had no chance. We see that bend once again on this play. He's going to attack the edge, bend around, step up, and get the quarterback who was moving up to try and avoid the pressure on the other side. Once again, he's able to hit here. Kind of initial pressure, but has the edge, and he's able just to bend right around this defender, sink those hips, and finish with the half sack there. One of the things that I was really wanting to watch this upcoming season was how Chase Young developed with his pass rushing moves. Too often in 2018, he won solely based off of his speed and power and bend. I wanted to see how could he do with stringing those pass rush moves together. And in this play, he's down here along the left-hand side against Florida Atlantic. He's going to attack at this right tackle. And he's engaged right there. And too often in the past, he'd get kind of just stonewalled or ran past the pocket. Here he's able to swat those hands away, get past him, and then hold on to get the sack there. That shows his strong hands. So once again, he's able to swat those hands away, use a bit of a rip move to get past that right tackle, and finish with the sack. Here's another example of it against Indiana. He's going to rush off against the right tackle. And initially on this play, he's going to get stopped with his initial play. Right there, the right tackle had a good punch inside, gets to his body. A lot of times in the past, he would have been kind of shut down there. But instead, Chase Young continues to fight, slaps those hands away, uses a rip move to get around the corner, and get the sack there. As we see that again. He's able to, takes on this initial hit, swats the hands away, uses the rip move, bends around the corner, and gets the sack. As we see this play from the end zone view, once again, hands inside, just swats him away, rip move, bend around the edge, got the sack. So we're seeing the development of his pass rushing moves. He's being able to use his hands better to win if he didn't win initially with athletic ability, and that's what's continuing to raise his stock. I've always had him as my number one player, but that's pushing him up even further into a higher grade, and then it's comparing him to some of the better pass rushers that we've seen in the last several years. Now, Chase Young is much more than just a true pass rusher. He also shows the ability to play well in the run game. We see this here. They're backed up Cincinnati against the goal line, and he shows that he's able to take on this tackle, hold the point of attack, clog up the running lane for a little, a few yard gain. But he shows that he can take on those blocks. We see that again in this play right here. They're going to run this right tackle is going to try and seal him off so they can get a lane right here. He's able to push him aside, fill that hole, cause the running back to go back upfield for a no gain. And finally, here against Florida Atlantic, he's on the right-hand side going against this left tackle. They're going to run the ball to his side, and he just uses his strength and power to shuck this left tackle, go in, and get the tackle for a loss. As we see again, full speed, just shucks him off to the side and goes and gets the ball. So Chase Young is showing not only can he be a dominant pass rusher, but you can rely on him to set that edge and be a strong defender in the run game. And that's what makes him such a complete defensive end. Overall, Chase Young is one of the best defensive ends, best prospects we've seen in years. 6'5", 265 pounds. He's already has 15 and a half sacks through 8 games this season. He had 14 and a half sacks during his sophomore year. That was in 13 games. He's the first Ohio State defender to have double-digit sacks since Mike Vrabel was with the Buckeyes several years ago. He is probably the best pass rusher I've seen in the last several years. I'd rank him higher than Jadeveon Clowney, higher than Myles Garrett. I think he's just the complete package. He can fit in every scheme. He can play as a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4. He can play as a defensive end. He's got the ability to win with speed and athleticism. He's got elite athletic ability for a defensive end. He's got good power. He can drop into coverage. There's several times this season he's dropped into coverage and not looked half bad. So he is a guy that if a quarterback doesn't go number 1 overall, he should be that number 1 overall pick, and he probably will be if they don't go quarterback. And I could see a team, quarterback is a big needy position, but here's a guy that you might take over a quarterback. I think he's got elite potential. I think he's got Khalil Mack type potential to be not only a defensive player of the year, an all-pro, a pro bowler, but I think he can be an MVP type of candidate because he's got the skill set to dominate. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of the Film Room. I hope you guys enjoyed. The best way to get this is to subscribe on this YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications, make sure you like it, make sure you share it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.